This week on MasterChef, it was a pub food team challenge, and the orange team reimagined the salt and pepper squid. Calamari fritti is one of my all-time favourite things, so it just stands to reason that I was giving this salt and pepper squid a try. So that's what we're making this week. To a dry pan, we're going to add in some black sesame seeds, some white sesame seeds, and some cumin seeds. Now we're just going to toast these off until we start getting a little bit of browning on the white sesame seeds. So as you can see, got a little bit of browning starting to happen on the white sesame, and that's when you know it's ready. So we're just going to get a bowl, and we're going to transfer these over into there, and we're going to let this cool down. So now we're going to prepare this calamari. Now, when I bought this from the shop, I got the fishmonger to already clean these up. So there, he already removed all the insides, and that bit of white plasticky stuff. I don't know what it's actually called, but remove that. Also the tentacles, he's already removed the eyes and the beak and all that sort of stuff. So mine's already prepped, so now we're just going to jump on to the next step. Okay, so to prepare this calamari, you just want to take the wings off. Then you want to cut the tube open so it lays out nice and flat. Now we're going to cut this in a crisscross pattern. So without going all the way through the calamari, you just want to try not to go all the way through it and just cut some slits in it. Just like this. Turn it, cut it back the other way. Now you've got a crisscross cut in there. Now we're going to prepare the other one. Alright, once you've got them all cut up, you're going to set them in the fridge so you're ready to cook them. Okay, once your sesame seeds have cooled down, you're going to add some sumac, some flaky salt, and some thyme leaves. Now you're just going to give it a little mix up, and then we're just going to set this aside. For the yogurt dressing, I'm just going to add some lemon zest to some yogurt, Greek yogurt that is. We'll just get that all mixed in, and then we're just going to cover it up with some plastic wrap and set it in the fridge. To a dry fry pan, I'm going to add some coriander seeds. Now they should be ground already, but I don't have any, but I've got the whole seeds, so we're going to put those in. Then we're going to add some sumac, some white sesame seeds, and some cumin. This is for the Romesco sauce. So we're just going to give those a little mix in, and then we're going to place these on the stove until the sesame seeds start taking on a little bit of colour and everything's smelling lovely. I'm not sure why they use ground spices and then toast them off, because before the sesame seeds have time to get any colour, the powders start to burn. Anyway, we've got a nice little toast on some of these, so we're going to set them aside while we jump on to the next step. So I blackened off my capsicum and the chilli, and I've had them sitting in this bowl steaming, so it's easier to peel the skins off, which is the next step. So I'm just scraping all the seeds out of the capsicum and the chilli, and then I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to remove some of the skins. Now, don't remove all of the skin, because you actually want some of that black charred skin in there. Bit of extra smoky flavour to it. So I'll peel off some of it, but not all of it. So then when you've got that all done, you're going to pop both the chilli and the capsicum into a blender. To my blender, I'm also going to add a garlic clove. Now I've got some almonds here. If you had raw almonds, you toast them off the oven before they let them cool, but I've already got mine roasted straight out the package. So in they go. Also the zest of a lemon. Also the juice of the lemon. Add toasted off spices and some olive oil. Alright, then we pop that in our blender and blend it till it's nice and smooth. So once you've got it blitzed down, you're going to add a little bit of vinegar. Now, it says to use sherry vinegar, but couldn't find any, so I'm using white wine vinegar. And we're going to add a little bit of salt. Now we're going to give this a blitz up, then we're going to give it a taste, and we're going to add and adjust as we see fit. So I've given it a taste, and for me, it's got a bit of a bitter note to it. So to counteract that, I'm going to give it a little shot of agave. Now I'm pretty sure it's because I'm not using sherry vinegar, and that probably takes away that bitterness. But we'll give it a shot of agave, we'll get it mixed up, then we'll see how it tastes. Once you've seasoned it up and you've adjusted till it tastes really good to you, you got to stick it aside. You're ready to use it. So we're going to make the fennel salad. I tried to use this to get it nice and thin, but I'm going to lose a finger if I keep doing that. So I'm just going to chop the fennel up nice and finely with my knife. So to the thinly sliced fennel, we're going to add some parsley, the juice of half a lemon, and some olive oil. Okay, now we're just going to get this mixed up. All right, now we're just going to cover this up and set it aside. Okay, I've got an egg white, and I'm just going to whip these with a whisk until it forms a soft peak. Once you've beaten your egg whites, you're going to add a tablespoon of your za'atar and some salt. And we'll just get that mixed in. Okay, to prepare the squid, we're going to get the tentacles, and we're going to cut this into 4 pieces, which I'm only going to cut mine into 2. And we'll cut this long tentacle off, and we'll fry this bit separately. Then the wings, we're just going to slice those up into a few pieces. As for the body, I think we'll slice him straight down the middle, just like that, and then we'll cut it into some strips. Oh, once you got all your squid cut up, you're just going to plop it all into your little batter here and get all the pieces coated. So I got some oil preheated to 180 degrees. I'm going to plop all the squid in and cook it for, it's not going to take long, maybe 2-3 minutes at most. Okay, once you've fried it off for a couple of minutes, you're going to remove it to a paper towel lined plate. Obviously, I'm plating 2 bowls up, so we're going on with a Romesco on the bottom. Then we'll go on with a little bit of the yogurt sauce. Then we're going to put some of the calamari in there. And a little bit of the fennel slaw on top. Usually I'm not a big person for squirting lemon over my food, but with this little fennel number on top, I think it works out pretty well. So, let's try and get a little bit of everything on the fork. It always amazes me how you can reinvent something as simple as salt and pepper squid to give it a completely different flavour profile. I mean, with the Za'atar and the Romesco underneath, it's still salt and pepper squid at heart, but it's on a completely different level. I fully understand why the judges picked this one.